Well, it's time to see how America grades the president.
Affable Mike Huckabee is a hoot to watch. In a minute, I'll share a clip with you of him sucking up to the notion the apocalypse is near. However, just as amusing to me is what crackpots would swallow this sort of swill. Fox News lies night and day, they're fair and balanced. However, it's a little kept secret that they share the same right-wing partisan audience as conservative talk radio. Naturally, Fox News has tried to spin this with data-mined polls. However, time and time again, their bull is exposed for what it is. Here we have Huckabee's audience writing in their opinions on the Obama administration, and, huge shock, it gets trashed unanimously.
She certainly knows how to grade pretty harsh grades. Okay, what else are we hearing tonight from
This is interesting. Joan from New Mexico writes, F, this Arizona suit was the last straw. I just mailed $25 to their defense fund.
Ooh. And what else are we hearing?
Jeff writes, as a scripted orator, A-, as an unscripted speaker, maybe a C-.
It sounds like that our audience is pretty harsh tonight on some of the president's grades, and it's interesting that they are consistently saying that he speaks well and he has a lot of things that he says, but the execution of the ideas, that's where it's lacking. Let's go on and hear some more. We want to hear what you had to say. That's what we've been asking you for. Kaylee?
Sharon and Keith from Canton, Georgia. If he is graded by what he has been able to accomplish relative to destroying the American way in our constitutional government and implementing a socialist system, he gets an A.
Ooh, that's pretty harsh. But, you know, it was an interesting poll that came out this week by James Carville, so it's not a Republican poll. And this was, I think, pretty stunning. It didn't get a lot of media attention, but it should have. And it's a poll that shows that 55% of the American people believe that the president's policies are socialist. Now, I want to be very, very fair, very clear here. I'm not saying that he is a political party socialist. There are a lot of people who would want to carry that far. I think that's a little out of the maybe realm of reality. But the policies being that way, and that's what we're hearing from some of the people here tonight.
Absolutely. Peter from Long Beach, California. I would give Obama the grade of incomplete. I cannot think of one campaign promise that he delivered on.
And let's hear some more. I want to get as many as we can.
Absolutely. Janet from Texas. Obama gets a D-. He has spent the last 18 months spending all the hard-working American money and blaming Bush.
There has been a lot of blaming Bush, not only from Obama, but it seems like that every time you ask a Democratic question, that's what you get. Let's hear some more.
Doug from Plymouth. Storytelling, A. Truth, F. Execution, F. In touch with America, F.
Ooh. Pretty much a big fat flag all the way across the report card on that one from Doug. All right, who else?
But Bentley, speeches A, content of speeches D. The speeches sound great, but there's no real content. And economy D.
All right, one final one. Let's see who else you've heard from.
Yes, Paul from Burbank, California. I give Obama an F. We elected a president, not a dictator.
Ooh. Well, I think, Kaylee, thank you very much for accumulating some of the emails. And I hope that if we didn't get to read yours, you'll know that we'll do our best to read through them. Obviously, we couldn't read all of them that we got, but I thank you very much for responding. One of the things that I think you see is that there are a lot of people who recognize that the president does have an incredible gift for communicating. This is what helped him get elected. People wanted to believe that what he was saying, he really believed and that he would do. We're also learning the hard way that sometimes in politics, people can tell you one thing when they're selling you, but they do something else when they're actually in the seat making the tough decisions. And in this case, a great deal of frustration. We've seen it from the likes of Pat Caddell. We've certainly seen it even from Lanny Davis.
Really, Mike? Let's see how Lanny Davis graded the president earlier on your show.
All right, we have a B from Lanny Davis, a C from Star Parker, and Pat Caddell.
I got to do this. This is not easy for me, folks. I don't
He gives him a C-. See how our three panelists grade the president. Lanny Davis says B- on and let's see. I think Lanny Davis is giving the president the B+ on this one. Star Parker goes to a D and is joined by Pat Caddell with a D-.
I have a D for the Republicans. No, I have a D and a D for the Republicans.
Oh, okay, so
too.
everybody
gets it on this one.
Is it really any surprise that in the age of Obama, Mike Huckabee and his audience would expect the apocalypse is near?
Dr. Beverly and her husband, Dr. Tim LaHaye, He's been named one of the 25 most influential evangelicals in America. He's also the co-author of the Left Behind series that 60 million people have read. And he's got a brand new book called The Edge of the Apocalypse. They join me now. You have written so many books. The Left Behind series obviously has been one of the most amazing phenomena. 60 million copies of those books have come out. You've written 70 books. I don't know how in the world you ever do that. But the theme of many of them is biblical prophecy. Are we now living in the end times from your perspective?
Very definitely, Governor. I believe that what we see around us, for example, the three major issues of our day are the global government, global economy, and global religion. And those are the three legs of the stool of globalism. And it happens at the same time that Israel just happens to be back in their land for the first time in almost 1900 years, at the same time that Russia and the Islamic nations are getting together. They've never done that in the history of the world. And yet now they're the enemies of this country that God said he'd bring back into the land.